Hello everybody, welcome to the Scuff Radio channel again, and today we're going to be doing something that I've wanted to do for a little while but never really thought much about it. I've just always kind of had it in the back of my mind, but we're going to be putting a tint on the front two passenger windows on my Suburban here. So as you can see in the early morning sun, there's a definite visible difference between the back and the front windows, and the main motivation for doing this is number one, thermal temperature rejection from the sun. It just gets so hot in here sometimes. And the other thing is I'm starting to get more and more radios in here, and if you walk up to the side you can't see a single thing in those back windows, but in the front you can. It doesn't show up as well on camera, but you can absolutely see that I've got a bunch of technology in here. So if I do the sides, see, here's looking straight in on the front windows. If I move to the back, it is a good bit darker, and even standing here about let's see, this is about a foot between the lens and the window, you cannot see inside, versus the front where you can definitely see inside. So we're going to be adding a matching tint to the front window here, not the front window but the front side window. Front window I don't really care that much. You can see the microphone hanging down there, but that's about it. Just kind of the side windows is what I'm mainly focusing on today. So we're gonna go take this in and get the job done and just kind of see how it goes. This video is not really supposed to be like a guide or you know, any kind of crazy adventure. It's just kind of supposed to be anybody who's got a similar vehicle and is thinking about doing what I'm doing, you'll be able to see what the results look like and decide for yourself if that's what you want to do. So without further ado, let's get this thing taken to the tint shop. And of course, one other thing I should show you is what the inside looks like. So this is what the view out the passenger side front window looks like versus the back window here, which is tinted. And as you can see, there's kind of the difference. Doesn't necessarily show up the best on camera, but you can definitely tell there's a visible light difference. This is out the passenger side window here, and that's out the back window there. So there you go. That's kind of the best way I can compare the two right there. And we're gonna be seeing what the after looks like here shortly. Alright everybody, I'm here outside of Tint World in Huntsville, Alabama, and they have finished the vehicle. I just want to say right off the bat, of course I haven't had this very long, you know, it's still like drying and everything, so I can't, you know, speak to the level of quality quite yet, but what I can say is they did it very quickly. I dropped it off at around 8 in the morning right after they opened, and I got a message that it was done actually an hour earlier than they had originally said it would be, so that was pretty neat. Here's the outside of the vehicle. As you can see from the outside, the front windows now appear to match the back windows pretty much perfectly. I don't know how, you know, visible that difference would be ordinarily depending on the different shade levels. We put a meter on the passenger window and determined that it was about 17.5% was the factory tint, so they went ahead and did I believe a 20% on the front windows here. So from the outside, as you can see, it looks very uniform. I think it makes the vehicle look sharper too. I mean, just having that front window, all three windows in line be blacked out like that, I think is really something. So yeah, just kind of looking at different angles here, as you can see what it looks like. I mean, it kind of just, not a whole lot to say about it, to be honest. It just looks like a darker window, like you would see on the back windows. So walking up to the actual window here, if we look in this side window, I mean, I'm standing, you can see my reflection here. As we get closer and closer, you still can't see, you can see the windows through to the other side, but as we get closer and closer here, you really pretty much have to be completely up on the window to see anything at all through it, which is the same with the camera and with me standing here. Like if I move the camera to the distance that my head is, I can see like the stuff that the sun is landing directly on in there. Like you can see the sunshade and my beach towel there through the window and the back of the seat, but it's really dim, and anyone more than a few feet away, you can't see anything at all. Let's go inside here and just take a look at what this is like. So first, right off the bat, one thing I did notice is that the coloring is different. So looking out the back windows here, you can see the color is fairly natural. It looks pretty normal, I'd say. I mean, it just looks kind of dimmer. Maybe it has a little bit more of a yellowish tint to it. If we look out the sides here though, there's a definite sort of greenish, bluish kind of hue to it. It's definitely made worse too by having sunglasses on. So you can't really see that on camera, I guess, but I guess I can hold my glasses up to the lens here. So this is looking through my sunglasses, and you can definitely see the difference there in the sky. Without it, it's really not as noticeable, and I'm realizing that now, and I think that also may kind of improve as this finishes drying. I can tell you right now that just sitting in here, so the main reason I got this was a combination of things. I have a lot of radio equipment in here, as you can see, and I don't necessarily want people being able to look in the window and see all this stuff, especially if I forget to turn the screens off, or if someone just walks past my car, you know. It's obvious there's something going on from the outside, but just having this stuff, you know, be slightly less visible is a bonus. The main reason I got this was for thermal protection, and I can tell you right now, the sun here is not really shining on my seat that much, but I can tell you, if the sun is shining on it right here, if I put my hand on that, it feels not even really warm. Previously, if I had put my hand on there with the sun shining on, even that little patch there, that thing would have been fiery hot, like burn your hand hot almost. And I can tell you right now that it feels basically like the same temperature as everything else, which is absolutely amazing. I love that so much. And so this is, you know, bright enough to where you won't get hassled by law enforcement and just you won't look super weird, but dark enough to where the people outside are not going to really just be staring down at your lap while you're driving. So I think this is awesome. This is fantastic. We're going to do a little bit of nighttime driving here and report back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at night in the same area we were earlier. As you can see, it is not pitch black out, but it is dusk. The sun has set. We have the horizon there. So this is just kind of, you know, dusk driving. And as you can see, still dark, as you would expect. Here's another benefit I'm realizing too, is that in the past at night when my turn signal was on, because I have the LT trim with the turn signal mirror option, the glare on the window from the turn signal made it so you literally could not see through the mirror sometimes, especially if the window was even slightly dirty. Now with the tinting on here, the turn signal's on, and yet my visibility out my mirror is fantastic. There's no glare whatsoever. Pull it back here so you can see both sides of the traffic and what's coming. I think visibility is perfectly fine, and I'm really happy to see that my visibility has improved. Same with this guy's lights back here. I know on camera it looks like there's a glare, but in my vision there's no glare whatsoever. I can see his lights just fine, and they're not glaring or causing distortion. So overall, I am really happy with this. I keep discovering new things that I'm impressed with. So far this has been well worth the investment. I mean, it's darker for sure, and on camera, of course, it shows up kind of worse on camera. You kind of don't see as well, but you know, there's your sort of comparison there if that's what you want to see. So anyways, I'm pretty impressed with this. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it was well worth the money. I mean, I like looking in that mirror right there. You can't see it on camera super well, but man, visibility is improved out of that window versus the glaring and other issues I used to have. So, well, it remains to be seen whether or not the dimming effect becomes a problem as it gets darker, but so far I think it's absolutely fantastic. So anyways, guys, that's gonna about do it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to tell me what you thought in the comments, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.